Hello and welcome back to The Crossing After Show. What an episode. I'm blown away. We've got some amazing things coming up for you and topics like negotiation tactics, Alpha Zoo what, the shot heard round the world, and our new special topic, Lurker updates. You're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Except she wasn't.
Nope.
Oh, what a bummer. I thought she was onto something and then poof. But we don't know. We didn't.
There's a possibility.
There's a possibility for life.
That was high up, that shot.
Yeah, it was a shoulder shot.
There's time to recover.
I think you can endure through a shoulder shot.
I agree.
Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. My name is LoGrasso.
Hi guys, I'm Krista.
And we are here with The Crossing After Show. As I said, it was a absolutely epic, shocking, groundbreaking episode.
It was. It really was.
A lot of things going on here. We got a lot to get to. We have, three main topics that we want to hit today.
Mm-hmm.
First one we're going to hit is negotiation tactics.
Yes.
And what we mean by that is the child negotiation. So the one that happened between Reese and Jude and the other people that became involved. So the beginning of the episode starts out with that. It's a phone call between Reese and Jude, and she wants to get her daughter back. He wants to make sure his son is alive.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah. And she actually was, I thought, pretty nice throughout the whole thing, given what she's going through. She was gracious.
Why. I think she was like, I'm also trying to get my daughter back, so I'm going to treat his son how I'd want my daughter to be treated.
Right.
She was like acting like a mom the whole time, which is understandable because she is one. So.
Right. And a good person.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Fishing, doing great things.
Oh, yeah. That was such a cute
adorable
scene. So then we go into, like, more normalcy, I guess you'd say, because she's trying to actually, like, pretend like she's babysitting him so that the kid doesn't know what's going on and feel scared. Because I'd be petrified if I knew the full truth and I was a child or an adult.
Yes.
So they go fishing. She beats up some guys for some fishing rods. Just normal day in the life of an apex.
Tomb Raider she-bitch.
Yeah. And she casts that line so far. She's like, "You've never fished before?"
She's like, "Nope, first time."
First time's
She had a cannon for an arm. Yeah,
she did. So, and they had a cute little conversation. It was a nice, like, reprieve from the rest of the intensity of the episode. And at that same time, we have Jude just, like, doing exactly what he told his son he would do and going to every extreme to get him back.
Yeah.
So he gets to the front of the base camp, and the guards aren't wanting to let him through. And so he's like, okay, I'll go back. And I thought he was going to back up for a minute.
I totally expected it. I was like, Jude, the dude isn't going anywhere. Right.
We thought, okay, maybe he's going to retreat. He's going to go back to his good guy, like law enforcement. Okay, let the feds handle this. Mm-hmm. No. Our Jude's got a little pep in his step because he put the pedal to the metal and jammed right through that gate.
He did.
And somehow he found his way to Emma, or as you like to call her, Ren.
Emma Ren.
I found this out about you. She likes to give people the official last name.
I do.
So you made her referring to Emma as Ren throughout this.
I'll do first and last for you guys if
first
I can
and
remember.
Last. Emma Ren. It's a great name. It actually rolls off the tongue nicely. I'm glad
She's a beautiful name.
Beautiful name, Emma Ren. Mm-hmm. Shout out, girl. So they get together. They start talking. The virologist comes in. Then they're talking with her.
Our doc.
What was that?
Our doc.
Oh, yeah, our doc. I thought she said a different word, like in a new language. I'm like, is that something I missed out on? Is that like an Alpha Zulu?
Yes, you missed that entire
Abda.
part. Yep.
So they're talking. He finds out that she's got this terrible disease, and his situation gets a little bit more complicated.
Yep.
So what was going through your head at this part of the episode?
Well, first of all, I wish he would have, when he did finally talk to her, just said, hey, your daughter's sick, instead of going through the whole process of getting there and then explaining it, because the doctor knew that somehow the mom was helping her before. So I'm sure in his mind he should have thought too, like, hey, this mom knows that, or at least has known she's been sick in the past, so maybe that would have helped. at least getting her there. I think the whole it's just, why couldn't they have gotten her there right away to help her? She's got like 48 hours to live. So I get why the doctor did what she did now. So I'm just hoping it like works out in time.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I mean, I understood because in that moment he said, I didn't tell her because I wasn't sure what she would do.
How she'd react, yeah.
If she would stab his son's
That's
arm.
true.
I don't think she'd do
No.
that. That was the first thing that
As
came
a
to my
mother,
head.
I
Why
was
do
just
these
so-
violent
yeah.
things come to my head?
She'd just kill Oliver right there.
Yeah. I don't think she would do that either, but I get
But
why
you
he would
don't
be
know as a
afraid.
dad,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he
You're right.
literally saw her jump through a window like
It's true.
a god.
Yep.
So, yeah, I can understand why he would be afraid of
was a
what she
little
might do with her
skeptical.
superhuman apex strength. So, he goes in there. He threatens to puncture a hole in the
Yep.
tarp, keeping her disease inside.
Because that's going to help everyone.
That would. It would be nice to taste the flavors of this
yes.
horrible disease that could kill all of humankind. So he decides not to do that, thankfully. She decides to go with him. They take a little road trip, call her. As we mentioned, they don't mention that they don't have Leia in the car with them. They get to this weird, creepy warehouse, which there seems to be an overabundance of in this
Yeah.
neighborhood.
I think it's just...
How many weird, creepy, abandoned warehouses are there in this town?
Apparently a lot in the Pacific West. I don't know.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Good
Hopefully
for
it's easy to
them.
monetize that. So they meet up there. Obviously, she's hella pissed that her daughter isn't there.
Respectfully so.
Respectfully so. I can get that. I can get with that. And they explain what's happening. So we find out, she finds out that Leia's sick and that if they can sit together. I mean, what I understood the end of that discussion was, okay, you get the son back, I'm going to get the doctor, and we're going to sit together and figure out a plan for her to get treated.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure her staying behind because she knows she can't just walk Reese back into the camp with her.
Right.
So I think they're going to try and maybe, I don't know, give her a vial of her blood or something. Like somehow figure
Yeah.
out
But she didn't even
antidote.
bring
Yeah.
any medical supplies
So that's
with
why
her.
I'm also like, were you guys going to stop at the local hospital?
Right.
So hopefully
Just,
just
like,
a
quick
lot
ups-
of things to work out in there, yeah.
Right. How do you see this storyline going from here on out?
Yeah, I think. Well, they're not gonna let this Leia die, right?
No.
It's been so obviously they're gonna save her, but that pretty much. So maybe it spreads, or
The
I just feel
disease?
like that's really quick just to heal her and then never talk about Mantle's disease again. But you've got 20,000 other problems with these people to
Right.
explore, so maybe it will be that simple.
Do you think that mother-daughter will get reunited in the next episode, or do you think it's going to be a little bit more
I
complicated?
think it might be more. I think she'll be able to save her somehow with, they'll figure out a way to get the antidote to her without physically getting Reese to her. But I think it's also gonna make her mad because they're like them reuniting's not gonna be that easy. I think.
Did you have any questions about how easy it was for her to restart the car?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I have
okay,
a lot of questions
in
about
the
what she
future,
does.
like, if we're already talking about self-driving cars, the future, like, wouldn't have to restart the car
No.
that way, right?
But
or
she
maybe
knew
cars
how.
don't even work like that. Or
That's
maybe
true.
she has superhuman knowledge programmed into her brain from all the
All
past
the years.
centuries.
That could be.
That could be it. That is, I mean, the writer should
She just
hopefully
like
be watching this.
reacts on impulse and
Right.
just knows what to do.
Because that would be a way for them to, like, take care of any of our questions.
That's true.
So hopefully they're watching and writing as we
Agreed.
speak these brilliant ideas. So yeah, that was a question to me. And then all these people using phones like it's nothing too.
That's what I'm
It's so
saying.
interesting. And not all these people, just one person, Caleb, which is a teaser for our next subject. But before we get to that, do you have anything else that you want to mention about the
About
Reese
negotiations?
negotiation tactics?
I think we covered it.
I think we got it covered.
did.
Mantle's disease.
Yeah.
So we don't have this covered yet, but we're going to get into it right now because we want to talk a little bit about this amazing podcast called Conversations with Maria Menounos. They have so much great content.
great.
As diverse as, like, the biggest celebrities like Zoe Saldana, all the way to this guy, the Iceman. His name is Wim Hof. He taught himself how to basically, like, control his body temperature through breath.
Stop it.
So he submerges himself in ice for hours on end and regulates his internal body temperature.
That's
and he goes on
insane.
Maria's show and talks about how he does it and tells you how you can do it too. So you got to check it out if you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life. Because if you do, we have the podcast for you. As I said, it's Conversations with Maria Menounos, the podcast edition. And it's hosted by AFTERBUZZ TV, our AFTERBUZZ TV founder, Maria, of course, and it drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversation with Maria features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. So much more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. So all you have to do is go to iTunes, subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos. It is free, and it would be great if you could just rate, comment, and subscribe when you do. Let Maria know that AfterBuzz sent you there, that The Crossing After Show sent you there. So check out Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. You will be happy you did.
Do it. It's free, guys, so why not?
Super free.
Yeah,
Super free. And actually, like, I worked on the show for a very long time, 2.5 years. I'm a huge fan of it now that, I mean, even when I was on it, I was a huge fan, of course, but especially now that I'm off it, because I can really just listen as a fan. And it does give you so much great takeaway every single week.
I bet.
So, highly recommend.
Do it.
All right. Speaking of do it, a do it gal. Woo. The Alpha Zoo, what? Is the next topic we have to hit. Okay, there's a big situation. It involves a fan favorite, Luke the Lurker.
Yes, he is a fan favorite.
Good old Lukel. And the situation is really brewing with Hannah and Luke. So, I mean, I just love, like, her literally sharpening her knife the whole time. She's just getting her shiv ready so she can murder, because she decides she can't do it. At first, I wasn't sure if it was to, like, off herself. Because
I know,
she was
I was
just so
kind of
sick
skeptical
of the rat race.
She was like, I'm going to end it.
Yeah.
But then she was on a mission. And I was like, okay.
On a mission to murder Lukel.
Yeah.
So it's this whole storyline starts out with Caleb in a church praying, I guess.
Obviously.
I guess they don't have churches in the future, because they mentioned something about, is this their place of worship? And,
okay, yes.
And then Luke said, a lot of good it did them. So they talk, and then we find out that Caleb is an Alpha Zulu, which is somebody who fought off the Apex and Apex collaborators and people of that nature.
So he was a badass.
He was a badass. And Luke asks, why are you hiding this? And Caleb says, I'm sick of that. I want to leave it behind me. I've seen things that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, and I just want to move forward.
Well, yeah, and they're in present day, they're back, and they're trying to put all that behind
They're in the past now.
Yeah, it makes sense
Usually,
that he'd want to put it
in the future.
in front of him.
It's so confusing.
I know. He wants to put it behind him, mostly.
Yeah, behind him in the past. So we have this scene. Then we have Hannah sharpening her knife. Then we have a scene where she's about to go and commit her murder on Luke.
Just lurking. She becomes the Lurker.
She becomes the Lurker. Hannah the Lurker. Take two.
The Lurker.
But then Caleb sees what's happening and chokes her and holds the knife away from her. So they go in and they hang out in this cabin and start talking about what's going on, and he's like, listen, what's going on with you and Luke? Like, obviously it's gotten bad if you're about to stab him. And she says, I can't tell you. You wouldn't understand.
So emotional.
And then it finally comes out. And she doesn't have to have the burden anymore that she is an Apex collaborator.
Must have felt good.
Must have felt good getting that off the chest.
Released it. Told it to the macho man on camp, the big dog.
Shake it off, girl. Shake it off. But she obviously was very scared because this guy killed people like her in the future.
I'd be terrified too.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't want to.
That's why at one point she's like, just do it. Just kill me.
Right. Well, and that just shows the level of desperation all those people were at where they came from.
You're like left with no choice, I feel like, every situation. Like it was her dad or, it's just, it could be anyone. Even if you're doing the wrong thing, you're like doing it for a right reason or.
Oh, wow. That makes me think, I mean, it's hard to talk about anything with World War II because it was such a terrible, awful situation. But it does make you think about the people back then and like what the Nazis were doing to threaten those people. There's so many really deep, rich.
It's like everyone's reasoning is different, and then you're like, wait, was that for a good reason? But bad.
Yeah, but
outcomes?
but it's never okay to.
It's never okay to mass murder. So it's so deep rooted.
Yeah, but it's interesting that they show that side of it, and it's really interesting that Caleb, who is one of the people on the other side,
didn't like what he was doing. Yeah,
didn't like what he was doing. Not only that, though, but doesn't blame her because she acted out of fear.
Yeah,
and I thought that was a really beautiful show of the human spirit and its capacity to express empathy.
Yeah.
Because it's true. fear drives people to do some really insanely disgusting, inhumane things.
Yeah, I do like that. I especially like that they showed both sides because Caleb was absolutely doing what he was doing for the right reasons.
Right.
But he was also
But
hurting
it
people and
still
he acknowledged
wounded him.
it. Yeah.
And it still takes a toll. Anytime you have to, it's not normal to kill someone.
No.
Even under circumstances where it's necessary.
Like you have no other
it's
choice.
Not
yeah.
normal. So it was nice to see that side of it and to see him be compassionate to a person who did terrible things.
Yeah, I liked that scene.
It was really nice. If they can work it out,
Anyone can.
anyone can. They give us hope for peace. But then Luke comes back.
He lurks back in.
Yeah. And he's like, do you know what this girl does? She's a collaborator.
It's because of her everyone I love is dead.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, that's a
then
push.
Actually, you felt some compassion
Yeah,
for the guy
I was like,
because
I
he's talking about his
understand why.
family. He never even met his parents.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, Caleb's like, listen, stay the hell away from her or
Yeah.
else I'm going to
Exactly.
take you out.
In chokehold.
Take you down to Chinatown, man.
Yeah.
You don't even know what Chinatown is.
No, they do not. They might have had one in the future. We don't know.
Yep. So Caleb chokes him, tells him to go to hell, and everything is pretty much wrapped up with that situation.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully Luke lurks, but not to the capacity he was lurking before, because I want to keep using the hashtag.
Me too.
So
I hope
keep
he's lurking in some way.
Lurking. Just even if it's around the camp and general daily
Yeah,
activity.
just looking around.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
Maybe finds a new prey. I just want him lurking in the
Yeah.
general area.
That would be nice. Maybe he starts spying on the lady who draws pictures.
Yes, that'd be nice. There you go, Luke.
Which was a huge subplot, or not even a subplot. It was the genesis of a huge plot point, which we will get to in a moment. But we can't finish this topic because it involves Hannah without talking about our boy Marshall out in the real world, just trying to get his girl back.
He spent like 2 seconds with her and he's smitten. Like he's intrigued.
Kitten.
Yes.
A smitten kitten. Now, you didn't tell me this, did you? There's somebody, I think one of the fans in the comments section last time talked about how they think that Marshall is the great-great-grandson of someone from the future. I'm not sure how that would work.
We definitely thought he had a connection of like relation to someone, but that, I mean, yeah.
Or like the granddad,
like maybe they're related, like they're 15th cousins, like way in the, you know.
I really hope they don't hook up.
No, but yeah, I feel like if someone was like, you can trust this person, obviously there's a reason they know him and but
yeah.
I
wonder. Well, he's got like a very aggressive and aggressively friendly bro who's just like there for the cause, just there to help him out.
To get the girl.
He's like, yeah, man, you gotta forget about this girl. But they end up, after having like one pointless conversation, the next one, they ended up devising this idea that, oh my gosh, well maybe we don't have to get into this camp. He reveals
Such a bro idea.
Such a bro idea. I mean, the only thing that would have been broier is if they sent alcohol into the camp. But instead, they decided to send a cell phone, which was actually not a bad idea.
No,
it's actually
just drone it in.
Just droning it on in. But
like also, why didn't the HSI like shoot that down immediately? Is there no one patrolling the sky at this place?
Right.
You just plow through the security gates. You can fly things overhead.
Yeah.
It's just
because
very
a bird
open.
took it out.
Yeah.
I guess why patrol the sky when you have nature?
People can sneak out in trucks.
Also, R.I.P. to that bird.
Oh, I know.
Maybe that was the death they were talking about in this episode.
Yeah, so it might not be.
Everybody hurts.
Mm.
Sometimes.
You're right.
Famous song lyrics.
Even birds.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, it's sad because that cell phone could have been the key to uniting these two, who are obviously soul connected.
Mm-hmm.
But
Star-crossed lovers.
That's not the case. And in fact, by the end of the episode, we find out who did intercept that phone.
Which means that phone survived that fall, too.
Survived the fall. The bird wasn't so lucky.
It wasn't an iPhone. It was not an iPhone.
But the phone survived the fall. So somebody says REM. Yeah, that's who sang that song. But yeah, it's interesting. Caleb finds a phone, and I mean, I have a prediction off of this, which I'll save for the end.
Exciting.
But that conversation is going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see the rest of it in the next episode.
I
Between
wonder, do you think Caleb knows
Marshall.
him? Like knows of him like other people in the future apparently do? Like all of a sudden he's
Maybe.
like, hey, I'm Marshall, and Kayla's like, yo, what up?
I feel like Caleb was way too busy killing the bad guys to
Yeah.
socialize.
You're right.
But maybe.
Like, didn't hear tales of the past as much as
Right.
the
Like,
other folk.
you would think that because he was on the inside, he would have known about the previous migration. Also, you know, when I was hearing about the previous migration and seeing all the problems that these people are having, I just had to wonder, usually when you do something for the first time, it's a rough draft. It doesn't go that well. How are those people so successful
They
the
seem
first
to be
time around?
acclimated into society
Right.
just beautifully.
But nobody in the second round had that same kind of luck.
Like, did they all drop in at different areas and not cause a stir? I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. I can't wait to find out how they came
I agree.
to be
That's
on the
my
planet.
biggest question.
Yeah.
I want to know.
So many questions. I want to know too. And I also want to know how you, the listener, are enjoying the show.
Yes.
So if you could go to iTunes, to YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. We do this for free. We love doing it. It's our
Yes.
passion. We love this show. We love talking about Luke the Lurker with you.
We do.
But we need your comments and we need your ratings because that helps us grow and it helps us stick around.
We definitely
So-
see them too. We see
do.
you guys on Twitter. You guys are great.
Yeah, oh my gosh, so many
Yes.
amazing people. They made a graphic this week.
This show, AfterBuzz in general, and The Crossing has great fans. So
Great
you guys are
fans.
awesome.
Much love. So much love. So we appreciate you and we just want to say any kind of love you can show us in that way is much appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
You know what's not appreciated?
What?
Getting shot.
Nope.
And there was a shot heard around the world, y'all. And it pierced our souls and it pierced Emma's shoulder.
It sure did.
So here's how it started. It was a cold night.
It was a cold,
actually
windy
did-
night.
it did look a little chilly.
She had a jacket on.
She did. A winter breeze was coming through the town. And anyway, back to the story. She ends up intercepting this picture.
Yep.
Do we know that guy's name?
Paul.
Paul. She is on it with the names for this show. First and
It's
last.
hard because I have to be on IMDb and all these refugees look the same. So
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, which one is it? But yes, he is. Let me double check. He is Paul,
He is Paul.
according to IMDb.
So Paul sees that this woman's drawing a beautiful picture. He says, do you think you could draw off of my description? He has some key points of someone's face.
Yeah.
She draws a great photo. Or not a photo, a drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides to go to one of the guards and say, hey, do you think you could run this for facial recognition? I can pay you a lot. And he's like, you don't have money. And then he's like, but this woman does.
So do they have contact with
How
these
would he
people?
know? Or
'Cause
maybe
how would
he
he
just
know
assumes
that?
she's super smart and would have found a way to make
Yeah,
cash.
because that made me, the way he was like so sure of it makes me think, did you have a little crystal ball up there and you could see what she was doing? Like, he was just like, she has money.
Maybe.
But then again, he's like, I don't even know if she's here or if she died, so maybe she brought money with her. Like, I just
Yeah, like
don't-
maybe she stuffed a ton of cash
Cash
in her
in her
bra,
bra, yeah.
as she was leaving.
Or they have just blocks of gold that they can translate.
Oh.
I
wonder
there's
if
got to be a thing.
currency is the same in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably
Gold
not.
would be a safe bet, though.
She just like took one in each pocket.
One in each pocket, one in
That would
each
have sucked
brassiere.
if she ended up in the ocean like the rest of them. Then would
Ay.
have held her down.
Well, good for her. However she did it, she obviously made a lot of cash. So he takes it over to Emma. Emma's like, this is strange. Then she starts putting it all in the system and then realizes that her boss, Craig, has been acting like a shady McShaderson.
Duh.
She's not going to trust him anymore. She's not going to trust the
Smart.
system. She knows she's being listened to. She knows she's being watched. She calls this guy. I pictured it as a guy that she's had a booty call with before.
Like someone in a basement with a lot of computers.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
they've hooked up a couple times, but like he owes her one.
Yeah.
So she calls her booty call, who also has facial recognition systems, and she's like, "Hey, off the record, could you do this for me? Don't do it on our security system." So he runs it for her, gives her the name of this person who just happens to live in the area.
Convenient.
But interesting. So maybe the first migration brought them to that area too. Maybe that's the only area where they can come to. That could tell us something. So she ends up going to the house with no backup because obviously she doesn't want anyone else to know.
Yeah.
And this woman answers the door who looks like the lady from my Big Fat Greek wedding.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, oh, that's going to be fun. She's on the show now. She comes in. She says, you know this man? has a picture of our buddy there, Paul. And he goes, oh my gosh, that's my husband. I'm like, oh great, this woman tells the truth. This is going to be awesome.
They're going to reunite.
We should have known it wouldn't be that easy. Because she sits her down on the couch and starts feeding her line after line about how he was in a cult. And every word that Emma says, this woman is 10 steps ahead of her.
Yep.
And I can tell Emma's processing it.
Yeah, and she's also been, like, coached, it seems, or she's prepared for what to say if something like this
She was a straight-up pageant queen
yeah.
when it comes to apex human relations 150 years in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, she definitely had been coached. So they're talking, and she says, do you have any other information about this cult? And she says, oh, yeah, sure. I've got some letters. I got some pamphlets. Actually, it sounded a lot like Scientology, didn't it?
First of all, I was like, wait, so are they just coming to your door? Is this Scientology that you're describing here?
Right.
I know. I was like, sure, she's got packets out back.
Right. So she's going to get the packets, and there's something that catches her attention, Emma's attention, as she's sitting on the couch, which... By the way, this was like a weird blocking thing, I thought. Did you notice this?
Yes.
I only noticed it the second time I watched it. But she looked up and I'm like, oh, she must have seen the picture.
Yeah.
But then she went to the table.
It was like a weird rendezvous. I was like, where are you going?
Right. I feel like that one part of the scene could have gotten cut. Everything else was perfect.
Yes.
Though. So she goes to the table, then she sees this picture. She zones in on it. Who else is it in there but Craig? Looking extremely happy, by the way.
Yep. Like, they looked like they might be together. Didn't it almost? That would, well, it'll be my prediction later, but I have a feeling about these two.
Yeah.
I don't like either of them.
Yeah, well, it definitely seemed like a joyous gathering, whatever it was.
It seemed like a beautiful family photo.
Right. So she has this aha moment that this bitch is lying.
Yeah.
And just as that's happening, she gets shot through the shoulder.
Shot in the back.
Yeah. It was very devastating. Now, I wonder if I got shot through the shoulder, would I do the same thing as Emma and just gasp and look shocked?
Shocked and then fall to the ground? Yeah.
Or would I say, why did you shoot me?
Yeah, I don't know. And then
or
I feel
you're
like
one of them.
She went out so fast, too. She just started, like, the life just drained from her eyes. And I'm like, it was the shoulder. Give her, like, a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Like, at least try to stop the bleeding. Press
like, you must
down.
have nicked an artery.
Little pressure. Don't you have government training?
Or, like, enough time to, like, whip her gun out?
Yeah. Maybe she didn't bring it?
Well, you gotta bring it to these things.
I know, but we didn't see her with the gun.
That's true. She was wearing a trench coat. Maybe it was in the coat.
Maybe.
Nah.
Anyway, she's got to get better reflexes if she's going to survive. I think there's still a chance that she may survive.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think maybe they'll keep her alive and, I don't know, like hold her hostage for a bit or something. I don't know. Because obviously she's not wounded or, like, good enough to walk out the door.
No.
So whatever happens, they're going to either let her live or...
Yeah. I feel like maybe she could play dead.
Ooh.
And then, but they're too
And then just, like, limp out?
Then crawl out, like, drag herself with her one arm.
I like that
while
idea.
While she's making her other arm, like...
That could be.
You know, making a tourniquet around it.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Like, she goes to take a shower or something, the wife, and
yeah.
then
That's what I would do.
That'd be fun. I'd like that turn of events. I hope that's the case.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
So, to our special segments, should we go? Or do you have any other final thoughts for the episode?
No, I think we got it all.
We got it all. All right. So, Lurker updates.
Woo.
This is an idea that we had because everybody seemed to take to Luke the Lurker so strongly.
You should. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great hashtag.
It is a great hashtag. We all love alliteration in this world. But I had an idea for, like, what if we had a camera on Luke all the time? Like, what if this was, like, a la Big Brother?
Yes.
And we could just see what Luke is doing. My prediction, or my thought of what he's doing right now, if he was in the moment after he got bitch slapped by Caleb, I would think he's just sulking in his room, like, I thought I was going to be the king of this camp, and now I don't have anyone.
I
agree.
think that, and also he's, like, roaming around talking to everyone about how much because he's a gossiper, and I could see him being like, oh, that Caleb, who made him the king of our camp. And
Right.
I just see him being real salty and just going around and talking everyone's ear off about how much he hates Caleb. And would be like, what?
And like planning his revolt
Yeah.
too, because he's obviously a very vindictive person, which you kind of have compassion for him now, knowing he came from so much trauma. Like everyone did, but
or maybe he's like out telling everyone who Hannah really is to get the other people worked up, so it's not just him.
Right.
He's doing shady stuff and sulking.
Shady McGrady, 100%. And then there seems to be a shocker every episode.
Yep.
So obviously the major shocker of the week is the shot heard around the world. Is there any other big one for you?
Let me think. Yeah, I think that's the biggest. I'm trying to, I think maybe knowing that the director and this ex-wife or current wife of Paul is a big shocker, but that plays into the shot heard around the world.
It does, but that was pretty shocking. I think too, finding out that not Caleb is Alpha Zulu, that makes sense because he's got that calming, commanding presence.
News.
That was news, but also that he's not upset by
that he's more compassionate than we thought. I agree, that was a shocker.
And then there's always like a really random funny moment of every episode. For me, it was every moment that Marshall's bro was on screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, who are you? Why are you here? But also you're kind of funny.
I know. I think I love every time Reese has to overpower a couple men. Because it's been happening a lot. And it's just, she just takes them out, takes their rods. So the fishing pole scene with Reese was good for me.
That was pretty good.
I like when she's kicking butt.
Yes. She kicks butt often.
She does.
So you're going to get a lot of those moments.
Yes.
And we want to take a moment to shout out to some of the amazing people in the chat. We've got Steven. He's awesome. Lethal West Coast. I love that name. Mark Boyer, Cassandra. So many great people in here. And we so appreciate you chiming in throughout the show and telling us what you think. And, so Mark says Luke the Lurker is going to get voted off the island. The tribe has spoken.
Yes.
So true.
But then we won't have Lurker updates.
That's okay. We'll find someone else to update.
Picture him on the island, what he's doing on his new island.
Yeah.
At sea on his raft.
Well, that would be the best thing ever is if he had to live on an island by himself and they just had a camera on him.
Yes. Survivor.
So we have some news and gossip, I heard,
we do.
too. Oh, I forgot about this drop. Oh my gosh, it's so intense.
So a lot of this it's been from within the month because we started a little late. But two big things is Stephen King has been live tweeting, watching the show, and he loves it. Like during the first episode, he said, "The Crossing is damn good. This is worth a look." And he live tweeted the second, and he says it keeps getting better. So I mean, if Stephen King likes it,
gotta check it out.
Yeah. And then the second little tidbit is Amazon got the UK and European rights to The Crossing. So it premiered in the UK and Ireland on April 3rd, and then Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and Austria will get it on April 27th. So that's exciting. And that's pretty quick, I feel like. Usually it takes more time for a show to pick up and get spread like that. But Amazon saw something and took it.
Hopefully they take those views into account for the ratings.
I agree. Because I've heard the ratings aren't as good as they thought it was supposed to be.
No, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Because, this is news, quote unquote, but it's according to TV by the numbers. So it's not like it's Newsweek or a reputable source. No offense, TV by the numbers. But they said The Crossing will get lost, aka canceled.
No.
But your website's also called TV by the numbers. So
let's hope
let's take it with a grain of salt. And I think, too, like, the fact that big players like Stephen King are talking about it, it already
maybe needs some time to get momentum.
I think, and it's just hard these days with TV. Like, you can't hold it up to the same standards, even of a loss.
Especially with, like, younger generations not having access to it, like everyone else.
Yeah. A lot of people don't have a television, so they have to find alternate ways to watch it.
Yep.
So... Anyway, I think it's an amazing show. I'm so happy. I look forward to watching it every week.
Agreed. It's on Hulu, so you guys can watch it on there if you've got laptops and a subscription.
Yeah.
So
get on it. Type. You can get 30 days for free.
Hey.
Free Hulu ad.
Woo.
Sponsor us.
Yes. You're welcome.
So let's get to our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Whoa, it's really crazy in here. For those of you that are audio-based, we've got strobe lights going.
Yes.
And it looks like it's, it was St. Patrick's Day for a minute because the green lights were just shining on the table.
Perfect.
What are your predictions?
Okay, so part of this is not a well, it is, but I remember I think it was the end of episode 2, where Craig was calling whoever and was telling just the silhouette of a lady staring out a window, like, hey, this is the camp. And she was like, there is no future for them. I think that was the wife, Paul's wife. And I think they might have, I don't know if they're together, but they're super close.
A little something, something.
Yeah, they've definitely, I think they are from the first migration together for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But I feel like since they've come, maybe they've gotten it on or they've just formed a duo ship. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, she seems to be the head honcho, which I at first thought maybe she reported to Craig, but I think he might report to her.
Really?
Yeah.
Because in the preview
if
he
she's
said...
the person from the call, but if not, then no.
In the preview he said, do you have any idea how many people are going to die? But it seemed like he was saying it to her.
Like to her.
Which, I mean, I guess she could still be the person in charge that he says that to.
Unless there's, like, someone else above both of them still that we haven't met. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows how many people are here?
You know, it's a mystery.
It is.
It's
what
a
do you got?
total mystery. I think Emma finds a way to stay alive and kicks that bitch's ass.
Good.
Eventually, when she heals
like
and goes
that
through
prediction.
therapy. I think maybe a possible relationship between Reese and Jude.
Ooh, yeah, they're setting it up.
Yeah.
And Oliver thinks she's his girlfriend, so why not?
Although he's like, you could do better.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to fish.
Yeah. I don't think he could do better, to be honest.
Absolutely not.
And I believe Marshall and Caleb will work on a plan together to get the group out of the camp.
Ooh, that's what you think is going to relate to the phone call? I like that. I mean, Marshall's on his side now because Hannah. Ooh.
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 Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it for this week.
Definitely. Let us know your guys' predictions.
Yeah.
We'll read them.
Gotta hear them.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it to it. But before we do it, where can they find you on the internet?
Well, guys, I'm Krista Flentje, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Krista Flentje.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find you.
Yes.
And I am at Lauren LoGrasso. That's my full name, at Lauren LoGrasso. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Lauren LoGrasso. And I also have a show coming up May 26th, Saturday, May 26th at Bar Lubitsch at 7:30. So come on down. Let's sing some music together. Let's dance. Let's talk about The Crossing.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.